It's been a minute since we did a type-themed Pokemon evolutions video, so in today's video we'll be looking at several old Pokemon and seeing what they would look like if they got brand new Pokemon evolutions in Gen 10. But what do I mean by type-themed? Well, each of these evolutions will be in some way related to the fighting type. Ooh, punchy. As for their designs, all these evolutions were created by the amazing artist Andu Region, so do yourselves a favor and check them out. Their links will be in the pinned comments down below. And if you like these types of videos, well then stick around to the end for even more. But now it's time to sit back, get cozy, and let's dive into today's brand new Pokemon evolutions, starting with everyone's favorite little hoodlum Pokemon, Scrafty's new evolution, Scrafty, the dark fighting typed masked Pokemon, which I for one was already a huge fan of Scrafty, but now with this evolution, I don't know, I might just need two of these guys on my team. But how do we even evolve our Scrafty into this masked Giga Chad? Well, it's a strange one, that's for sure, because all your Scrafty has to do is knock out 20 Dragon-type Pokemon. Oh no, not my poor Dragon types. Anything but damn. Don't judge me. Hey, you know what? Scrafty's Pokedex entry is starting to make a whole lot more sense now. You see, it's said that it violently tears off the skin of those it defeats, but wear it as a symbol of its victory. Although, this is just a rumor. Listen, rumor or not, I know what a Druddigon looks like. But another rumor suggests that it wears the remains of the shedded skins that reptile Pokemon have left behind. This is to intimidate its opponents posing as a Dragon-type Pokemon. Either way, this guy's a freak. It also leads groups of Scrafty and Scraggy, teaching them how to fight, work as a team, and take care of their family. Aww. It's also seen as a hero by the Scraggies, as it defends its territory from others. However, they are far from heroic, since they use any type of fighting techniques to achieve victory. Hey, what's the capital of Thailand again? And it's said that its suit gives it incredible strength, being able to knock down a building with one punch. Don't tell Saitama. Next up, let's take a true hero and make them super, with Hawlucha's new evolution. Hawlucha, the fighting flying type expert wrestler Pokemon, who is living proof that wrestling is real. Giving me huge Mucho Lucha vibes, this beast of an evolution takes the tiny bird and really gives him some wings. How do you evolve into Hawlucha? Well, by using its signature move, Aerial Gala 20 times. It's a move it learns at level 44 and is a physical flying type move that performs a series of aerial acrobatics before delivering a powerful blow to its opponents. If it defeats an opponent with this move, its attack will increase by one stage. Pretty spicy. But it's not just a pro wrestler, but also every young child's favorite Pokemon. You see, its Pokedex entry says that Hawlucha is a formidable, lethal, and extravagant Pokemon. The combination of these characteristics turns its fighting style into a beautiful spectacle to appreciate, and people gather in squares and stadiums to witness live matches where Hawlucha dominate in spectacular battles, and toys resembling them sell very well amongst children. Gee, I wonder why. It also gets a unique ability that has ever only really been seen amongst Mega Pokemon, and that's the ability Aerialate, which boosts its flying type moves even further. Definitely a Pokemon I would love to catch, if not just a shiny hunt for this thing, because if that shiny isn't one of the best damn shinies I've ever seen, I don't know what is. Now let's take the most unique yet derpiest Pokemon and level them up with Spinda's new evolution. Spindrunk, the normal fighting type confused panda Pokemon. I mean, it all makes sense now. We just thought this Pokemon was spinning around making itself dizzy, but instead there was a dark secret that none of us saw coming. Either way, it only evolves into Spindrunk after leveling up with the new move Swirling Punch, which it learns at level 21, because, well, that's the legal drinking age over here. This move is a physical normal type move, and it has a 50% chance of leaving the target confused, paralyzed, or asleep, which is kinda tough. It also has the new and unique ability Clumsy Feet, where while it's confused, its critical hit ratio and evasiveness are doubled, giving me huge drunken fist vibes over here. Its Pokedex entry also says that its unpredictable and clumsy movements often result in self-inflicted injuries, which explains the busted eye. The spots on its body are in fact bruises that symbolize its attraction to combat and accidental falls. Facing Spindrunk is quite a challenge. It can dodge and counter with its fists in a frantic dance. There are also moments when its opponents never manage to land a hit, and in turn end up severely injuring themselves. The unpredictable, clumsy, and curious fighting style of Spindrunk goes unnoticed by many martial artists, as they consider it indecent and kinda vulgar. But for this reason, it was never really studied except by trainers who also occasionally enjoyed a good old-fashioned fermented beverage, which helped keep this style alive, further preventing this Pokemon from ever becoming extinct. Either way, I think this Spindrunk has had enough. Moving on to this bizarre Pokemon, see what I did there? With Pangoro's new evolution, and Chief, the fighting dark type leader Pokemon, an evolution that's giving me major King Gambit vibes, and in my headcanon, I see those two as being arch rivals or even best of friends. But how does your Pangoro evolve into this Pokemon? Well, similarly to Bisharp's evolution requirement, your Pangoro has to defeat 3 other Pangoro while also holding a bamboo bow. It's also got a signature ability that really brings home the whole King Gambit relation, being that its new ability, Gang Boss, does exactly what the ability Supreme Overlord does, as well as gives this Pokemon the ability to hit ghost types with normal and fighting type moves, kind of a leg up on the Pokemon who never stands. Its Pokedex entry says that despite having a violent nature, it doesn't actually use its strength to harm others, unless it's necessary. It's incredibly patient and can tolerate any discomfort or physical attack. But if someone harms its gang, crew, or family, it will lose it and go apeshit, or more like panda shit. It's also very common to see clashes between gangs led by Panchief and Scrafty here. However, they don't fight for territory or food. Apparently, they just fight for fun, as a way to demonstrate power. It shows its power by making a powerful roar. When this happens, the nearest Pancham or Pangoro provides it with food so it can relax. And it's said that it's capable of moving a truck with a simple clap. However, not with its hands. Moving on to one of the worst Generation 5 Pokemon to ever exist, and that's Simisage and their much appreciated new evolution, Munking, the grass fighting type monkey staff Pokemon, which I for one would love to have as a real Pokemon evolution. I mean, other than it being an adorable monkey, it also has a ton of Son Goku vibes, just like my other favorite Pokemon, Infernape. But how do you evolve into Munking? Well, easy really. Just level up after remembering the brand new signature move, Weapon Stash. It's a physical fighting type move which has the user use its weapon to attack. This move hits 2 to 5 times in a row with a base power of 25. But that's further amplified with this Monkey King's insanely good abilities being either adaptability or even Grassy Surge. As for the Pokedex entry, it says that a prayer from this Pokemon is enough to make vegetation grow around it. Its connection with nature is such that it provides them with the strength and energy to live for hundreds of years. I mean, who needs Dragon Balls when you got eternal youth like that? Oh, and if you plant a seed produced by Munking, a tree will grow that produces fruits at any time, regardless of the season, with high nutrients and an extremely delicious taste. Their staff helps them extend the reach of their attacks in battle, and they can defeat 1,000 enemies on their own without ever getting tired. Talk about Super Saiyan. But speaking of Super, how about we take this Gen 9 Super Bird and give it a glow up with Flamigo's new evolution, Flamor, the fighting fairy type heart-shaped Pokemon. Now, the rainbow-colored feathers and the 80s style leg weights easily make this a fan favorite. However, I think its new fairy typing makes this Pokemon a one-of-a-kind. You evolve your Flamigo after leveling up and learning its brand new move, First Step, which it learns at level 24. It's a physical fairy type priority move that inflicts damage with a priority of +2, and is used before moves of lower priority. However, it only works on the first turn, and it has a 10% chance of flinching the target. Not too bad for this legend of a Pokemon, but its brand new ability Double Step, which replaced Tangle Feet, causes most kicking, jumping, and stepping moves used by this Pokemon to become 2-strike moves, the second strike dealing 25% of its usual damage. Its Pokedex also says that the heads of Flamor function as one. They share thoughts, ideas, and feelings. It also also seems the right head is a bit more rational, while the left head is a bit more sentimental and creative. It enjoys dancing and showing off its killer dance moves to be praised by its devoted 80s fans. And as long as its heads remain united, its power will flow without any issues, enhancing its attacks and speed. And due to their rarity, Flamors are leaders of Flamigo groups, generally isolating themselves to enjoy their solitude. But when the group is in danger, they lead them with their synchronization ability to escape any situation, often getting the first step. See what I did there? Which brings us to my all-time favorite evolution in today's video, but I'm not sure if it counts as 1 or if it actually counts as 5, with Falinks' new evolution. Meet Fall Lord, the fighting ghost type puppeteer Pokemon. Just take a quick second to appreciate the floating hands around the center headpiece, except those aren't actually hands and are just tiny sharp ghostly Falinks soldiers. Like honestly, this design and concept is a 10 out of 10, out of this world, insanely good. How do you even evolve your Falinks into this amazing Pokemon? Well, it's simple really. It just has to faint 20 times. Yeah, it's probably not gonna be too happy or like you too much as a trainer, but once your Falinks does faint 20 times, it'll evolve into this amazing Fall Lord, who also has its own unique signature ability, being Vanisher, where the accuracy of any move used against this Pokemon with this ability is modified by a factor of 4/5, essentially becoming a ghost-type Snowcloak without any weather effect requirement. Oh, and its Pokedex entry is a wild one, and it says that all the experience gained in battle, both victories and defeats, have forged a strong character in this Pokemon, so much so that it does not fear risking its life or those of its comrades to achieve victory, which is why it also has a brand new signature move, and that's Last Breath, a special ghost type move that inflicts damage and its power is higher when the user's HP is lower, making it essentially a ghost type reversal. Speaking of reversal, here's another Falinks evolution that you should totally see. Or how about this fighting type evolution? Check out both of these Pokemon evolutions in their respective videos on the screen now to find out more.